it's funny because we've been doing this now for a long, long time. And when we
Mhm.
first started, we couldn't talk team totals. Sometimes that team total is the best play of the game. You only have to watch one side of the action. You could bet a team total over for a team that's given a lot of points, or a team total over for a team who's been scrappy. And in basketball, that last 3, 4 minutes, oh, it's brutal if you're betting.
Yeah, the ones that I've really started to like this year is doing parlays with players' points. That to me has hit more times than not. So it's something that I've decided to dabble in a little bit more this year is player parlays. I like the player total points, player 3 pointers, and using those as parlays. But this Iowa team, it's been a pretty successful year betting against them. So I will probably be doing that again Thursday night.
What about later in the day when Ohio State goes to Michigan State?
Michigan State's been a team who's picked up a couple of wins. Probably Tom Izzo's worst team in 20 years. They beat Indiana last week. They knocked off a top five ranked Illinois team earlier this week. I don't know that they have enough in them to beat an Ohio State team as well. It's probably going to be a closer point spread now than what it would have been a week ago. So that's good if you're betting Ohio State. I'm probably going to take Ohio State. I'm going to give the points regardless of what they are at this point, because they're such a good team. But again, Michigan State playing well these last 2 games, and that big upset against Illinois is going to keep that gap closer for those of you who want to bet the favorite in Ohio State.
Yeah, plus Ohio State's coming off a loss as well.
Exactly. And they're such a good coach team and such a disciplined team that, I'm happy for the Michigan State win earlier in the week over Illinois, because for a guy like me who wants to bet Ohio State, I'm happy that gap's closing.
A couple 3 points easy, no doubt about it. All
Yep.
right, so then Saturday, Michigan is at Indiana, and then that same Iowa team who's leaving Michigan on Thursday's got to go play Ohio State. Oh, how much fun that's going to be!
Yeah, Indiana's such an anomaly this year. They've got one maybe NBA caliber team player on their team. Archie Miller's probably on his way out. His buyout drops tremendously next year. Uh, they've played well at times against good teams. They've knocked off Iowa twice, but they were a huge favorite last week against Michigan State and just got ran the second half. I would look for this Indiana team to possibly show up in the first half, but continue their trend of falling apart in the second half. They commit dumb turnovers. They can't make free throws. I would say that this is a big time Michigan win come Saturday. Iowa, Ohio State is an interesting matchup to me. You're going to have two teams that are squeezing in games here pretty quick in a short amount of time. And we haven't seen that a lot recently, especially in the Big Ten. Uh, you know, Ohio State will come off what should be hopefully an easier victory against Michigan State, be able to rest some guys. I like Ohio State still over this Iowa team. Iowa, they depend on two guys very heavily in their offense. Um, their big guy tends to get in some foul trouble early and has to miss a good portion of the game. Ohio State's a more complete team in my estimation. I like I like the favorite in Ohio State. I assume they're going to be against Iowa come this weekend. So it could set some interesting matchups at the top of the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about a Saturday slate that has a couple games on Thursday that have a big impact, because you're talking about the game with Ohio State having that point spread impact. Well, if Iowa goes in and beats um, Michigan, that will change everything we talked about Saturday for sure.
Yeah, it's. I don't know that the points will be enough. Even if Iowa beats Michigan, I don't know that the point spread changes enough for me to take Indiana unless we're talking about, you know, 15 points, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that. It's just this Indiana team is not much more than Trace Jackson Davis, who averages a double double. But again, it's a team that turns the ball over way too much. They have terrible play at the point guards. They can't make free throws. Even if Iowa beats Michigan, I don't know that it's enough to make me take Indiana at any point in this game. And betting Indiana in the over has been disastrous for a lot of folks this year. I haven't gotten on that train yet, but they're a team that can score very few points in the second half. If you bet an over, they are a team that tends to fall apart in the second half of games. So if you're looking to bet an over and Indiana's involved, there's a lot of times that I'm staying far away from it.